it all game. We are motivated. We are dedicated. Come on now. Come on now. We will win. We are the best on the field. And we in the field like all day like all night like on the blue light, offense like defense like this squad like house call like and it sound like and it sound like and it sound like.
Yeah.
It's official. It's official. It's official.
Combine season is upon us.
I'ma do this here forever. Forever.
Try it.
Forever. Forever. I'ma do this here forever.
Manning throws. It is deflected and intercepted. Jimmy Smith has it. He's going in for a touchdown.
All you haters better be gone. This is the day you've been waiting on.
Now, there's been reports that the Tennessee Titans are thinking about trading the number one pick. Now, we get this every year. Whoever has the number one pick in the NFL draft, they say they want to trade any of the top 5, top 7 teams. They're always looking to probably trade around to get a better deal, which is completely normal. But the Tennessee Titans and general manager Jon Robinson, they want a little bit special. They want a little bit of hot sauce on it. They said at the 104.5 The Zone annual SportsFest, the Titans general manager Jon Robinson addressed his feelings on the value of the number one pick, saying, quote, "There's a group of players that are out at the top of the draft that you don't want to move back too far because you can miss out on one of those guys. And if you feel you do need to move back that far, you want to make sure that you have a king's ransom, for lack of a better term, to move that far. I would say that for us to move out of that pick, it's going to take a substantial amount of picks to do that," end quote. So you start thinking about the Tennessee Titans, where they're really at, and what they could do. Now, the offensive line was garbage last year, as we all know. And if they don't fix that pretty quickly here this year, they're going to have some problems, and Marcus Mariota might not be their quarterback or anybody's quarterback for that long because no one can take a beating that many years, that many times. Now, the King's ransom thing about getting a ton of picks, teams are now starting to be wary of, unless there's a guy that's going to change everything and a guy that's going to do something very special for our team. We got to think about not only the future of this organization, the picks that we could get later this year, and what we'll have to give up next year. Because it's not only that year that you give up. You end up giving up, a next year first rounder, and also maybe a third, a fourth, somewhere around that range. Multiple picks in multiple years. So there's got to be a guy. Is there a guy this year in this draft that would trade with the Tennessee Titans, move anywhere, whether they're down at the bottom, whether it's like the Broncos at the last pick or wherever, that's willing to say, hey, if we give up this much, there's a guy that's going to change everything. Now, of course, you're going to say, well, Larry Tunsil, outright the best offensive lineman in this draft. He can do a lot. That's true, but is he worth a bulk of picks to make that trade? Jalen Ramsey, he's a dynamic defensive back, honestly, probably the best defensive player in this draft. Are you willing to give up a ton of picks for this year and next year to do that? Depending on where you're at, what team you are, it's going to range from yes, maybe we should do that to no, we shouldn't. For the Titans spot, I understand this. You got to think of it and say, look, sure, we love to get Jalen Ramsey, who would shore up this defense and clear at least one side of this defense. He could take, if you split it in fours or you split it in threes, no matter what coverage you're looking at, he is going to lock down that side, or at least make a play on that side in general. It's going to be that green zone where you're going to feel comfortable at. Larry Tunsil, put him at left tackle, and you got your guy that the Tennessee Titans need for Marcus Mariota. That's why they're saying, look, you're going to have to give us a ton of picks to move out of this. And they're taking the right approach. Every team's going to do this. The Chargers, the Browns most likely are not going to trade out, but you know what I mean. maybe in the Cowboys, they could think about it, say, well, we like Ezekiel Elliott, we like Joey Bosa, we like Miles Jack, but if we can get a lot of other guys for this and miss out on this one player, because some other guys are going to be gone, sure, we'll take it. And again, maybe get in a quarterback like Dak Prescott later in the draft to insure him, maybe a third rounder, and you get a pick. If I'm the Titans, there's no way I trade out unless you get that entire bulk of trade or picks, because the Titans need to get that offensive line, need to protect Marcus Mariota and get Laremy Tunsil or someone along those lines. Let me know what you guys believe, whether you're a Tennessee Titans fan or just overall a fan in general. Do you believe the Titans should trade out? What would it take if your team was number 1 in the draft or anywhere in the top 5? What would it take for you to say, if you're the general manager, to trade out of that spot? If there's someone you like Laremy Tunsil, Jalen Ramsey, Joey Bosa, Ezekiel Elliott, what would it take for you to leave a top 5 spot to get those bulk of picks? Let me know in the draft. Let me know in the comment section down below. Follow me on Twitter at Short Sports Show. Become a fan on Facebook, The Short Sports Show, and let me know down below. Moving on to Cleveland.